Assalamu alaikum. This is Zafran Saeed, and today's lecture we are going to discuss formalism theory. Uh, Here are the outlines of the lecture. In this lecture, we will cover what is meant by formalism theory, what are its importance, and elements of formalism theory. Then we will apply this formalism theory on Imran Khan's speech, not on the all overall speech because it is up to 12 pages, but we will just for a short example we will apply this theory on the first two paragraph of his 74th session speech at UNGA, then conclusion, and finally references. So let's go to the next slide. Here is the introduction of the formalism theory that formalism is a critical approach to literature that emphasizes the intrinsic qualities of a text, such as a structure, form, and language. These are the intrinsic qualities on which formalism depends on. And also, it emphasizes on the social and historical context. Formalism arose in the early 20th century in response to the dominant literary theories of that time, and those theories were focused on the author's biography, the reader response, or the cultural and historical background of the work. But after that, when formalism came, so formalists argued that these approaches neglected, means the previous approaches, the author's biography, the reader response, and some other approaches that were introduced before the formalism theory. So, according to the formalists, they believe that these approaches neglected the inherent qualities of the text itself and the unique ways in which literature creates meaning. So, according to formalism, the meaning of a literary work is not fixed or objective, but is instead created through the interaction between the text and the reader. Means that when the reader is reading a text, the interaction of the reader with the text, these are very much important because with the help of this interaction meaning is created. This is what according to formalism. So formalists focus on the literary techniques and devices used by the author to create meaning, such as symbolism, imagery, and figurative language. So what is symbolism? Symbolism is basically the use of words or images to symbolize specific concepts, peoples, objects, or events. For example, we can say there's a red color or a color red, and it concludes that it represents not the color red itself, but something beyond it. For example, passion or love or devotion, or maybe the opposite, infidelity. Then we have imagery. Imagery is basically in literature is a literary device used in poetry, novels, and other writing that uses vivid description that appeals to a reader's senses to create an image or idea in their head. So after that, figurative language is a way of expressing oneself that does not use of words strict or realistic meaning. Then we have the importance of formalism theory. Formalism theory has been influential in a number of literary disciplines, including poetry, drama, and fiction. In poetry, formalist analysis often focuses on the sound and structure of the poem, such as its meter, rhyme, its meter, rhyme, and stanzaic form. In drama, formalist analysis often examines the dramatic conventions and techniques used by the playwright, such as the use of dialogue, stage directions, and character development. In fiction, the importance of formalism theory is that formalist analysis often pays attention to the narrative structure, point of view, and other formal elements of the text. While formalism has been criticized for its emphasis on form over content, so it continues to be a valuable critical approach to literature. By focusing on the formal qualities of a text, or you can say the inherent qualities of a text, formalist analysis can reveal how literary techniques and devices create meaning and contribute to the overall impact of a work. These are the some elements of formalism which we have to find out in order to analyze any text. The context, personalization, credibility, evidence, and argumentation. So we will analyze a text and find out these elements of formalism theory, whether they are there or not. So apply the slide next, apply formalism on Imran Khan's speech. We have actually gathered Imran Khan's speech at United Nations General Assembly, 74th session, first paragraph. These are first three paragraphs, and we combine all these and make a one single paragraph. Paragraph read it itself, and then I will next analyze that how those five elements are there in this paragraph, and how we will find uh, the context, the personalization, the credibility, and then the next two one. We have evidence and argumentation. So in this paragraph, Imran Khan first in his speech talk about the context. Then he personalizes some certain issues. Then he talk about some facts that are credible in nature. Uh, so we will next in next slide we will see all these things. Number first, context. Here in this speech, the speaker, you can say Imran Khan, establishes the context of their speech by mentioning that they are at the form of a world leaders where the problems facing the world can be discussed. So the context here, the form of world leaders. Then personalization, the speaker personalizes the issues by mentioning that they came to the form despite difficulties in their own country, and that Pakistan is one of the top 10 nations in the world affected by climate change. So this personalization helps to make the issues more relatable and urgent. Then credibility. The speaker establishes their credibility by noting that they have come to the form despite difficulties in their own country, which suggests that the issue they will address is important enough to warrant their presence. The fourth part is the evidence. The speaker uses evidence to support their argument, such as the fact that Pakistan is mainly an agricultural country that depends on its rivers, and that 80% of its water comes from melting glaciers. And finally, argumentation. Imran Khan makes a clear argument for the need for funding, which is a practical and actionable step that can be taken to address the problem. They note that ideas without funding are mere hallucination, which emphasizes the importance of taking uh, concrete actions. Hallucination means uh, it is a false perception of objects or events involving your senses. You can say hallucinations seem real, but they are not. So, and also in Urdu, it also mean fareb kari. Finally, conclusion. Overall, the speaker uses formalism theory elements to create a persuasive and compelling speech that seeks to inspire action and raise awareness about the urgent need to address climate change. And here you can see references from which I've collected these information. Thank you for watching this video.